All right. Peace out there. Got our teeth smell goods. 7. Felix Almond Sub, Mr. Spot.
What's that you eating?
SW 793rd.
What's that? Look good.
What we got in here today, man? It's like, man, why is you? Gotta keep your head on a swivel out there. I didn't get a chance to look into it and see what happened, but I saw that it was another school shooting today. That was like you got all levels of trials and tribulations right now where you got to understand the cipher. Meaning in its simplest form, you got to see everything around you. You know what I'm saying? Like in the, we got the big sense of, what we've been dealing with for the last 3 years. 3 years, last 2 years, but it's going on the 3rd year. We in the 3rd year. Right now we're completing 2 years of dealing with this. Yeah, three, that's what I heard too. 3 people got returned, 6 people got injured. But, like I said, with the, signs with just us being in America in general, we have to see everything around us. You understand what I'm saying? We have to understand the cipher. We got to understand, who we dealing with. We dealing with the trader. Because if the trader disappeared and there's no one left to speak your language, the language you want to speak is, how's things going to go right and exact? How's things going to be born alive? You know what I'm saying? So, we got just in general here in the wilderness of North America, we got to understand the cipher that we in. We got to understand the cipher we came from. We got to understand the ciphers that we created. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, just in the recent history of the last 2 years, right? We got to see everything that's going on around us, with the pandemic and lockdown and, the variants and the strains and, how you want to do, you got to understand the cipher in a way, everybody knew arm, leg, arm, head. You got a circulatory system. You had a pulmonary system. You had a nervous system and all of that. But now you got to understand the cipher on health at a whole other level. And shit gets complicated. You say, but look, I understand the cipher means seeing everything that's around you. Now, of course, we can add that in because it's very important, seeing everything that's around you for what it really is. You know what I'm saying? And not just what it appears to be. You know what I'm saying? But right now, you know what I'm saying? When because, we had the situation with the parade a minute ago. So now you got to remember, yeah, a lot of times we take it to a higher level. But see, when things like that happen, now I'm like, all right, see, you got to just with the physical eye, right? You got to be able to see what's going on around you, the people. Like, is this person a mass shooter, preparing to mass shoot? Is this person about to, drive into the crowd, whatever it may be? This is truly a time when you got to understand the cipher. You know what I'm saying? And, that don't just mean, see, like I said, that's all fine and good. I do that part. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Where we go through the understanding of 120 lessons and how we see this and, how you see that cipher and how you see that cipher. But the fullest extent of it, right, is to understand things that's going on around you. That was a little bit of a, it's not really a rant, it's really like a, kind of like a damn, that's, condolences to the people that, what I'm saying, the victims of that event, all those events that's occurring. Yeah, there's things that happen District 120 that show you, today's math, the things that you're dealing with. You see what I'm saying? That's when you you got it. You know what I'm saying? When things happen around you, right? And you can automatically see the math. See, when, and don't get me wrong, that's how you got to practice it. You see, when you got to take out this book, like, yo, God, I was reading this book, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah, I do that too. But I'm saying, what about the things that's going on right around you? See, because I'm going to tell you the barrier. I'm going to give y'all a second. I'm going to give y'all a second to think about it. To think about what the barrier is, right? That, it's like, okay, you can understand the lessons. Like if I ask you, how you see today's degree in the 1 to 14, you can give me an understanding of it. Right? But then if I ask you about the things that's going on around you, right? In your own cipher, the things that's going on around you, why can't you see that clearly? But you can see what's going on in the lessons. You can understand the lessons, but you can't understand everything that's going on around you. What is the barrier? What is your problem? Play a little Jeopardy right now. Wizard, we need to need that music. Yeah, that's a little bit crazy right there too. We was dealing with a little bit heavier matters, but this is not a show about death, this is a show about life. So we wasn't going to dwell on that anyway. But while people is coming up with, what you think is the barrier, between people being able to, see what's going on the paper, right? From them being able to make that walk and talk. But yeah, I see here that Knowledge Born came in and made Knowledge Born that LeBron has tested positive. Is it for the new variant there? It was reported on TMZ. So Rome Fetty said, I think it's the person being actually in their own matter and not checking themselves out, not looking from the outside in. Interesting. Lakers star LeBron James out indefinitely under NBA's COVID-19 health and safety protocols. So it says here, it's unclear whether the four-time MVP has tested positive or if he came in close contact with someone who did. Per the NBA's health protocols, players must return 2 negative tests on separate days before they are cleared to return to the court, and players who test positive must sit out for at least 10 days. Well, so Waju, like I said, says should be no barrier. Even Yakub didn't build prison houses. SW said themselves, potential versus kinetic. District 120 said getting caught up behind the CPU phone screens. SW said themselves, potential versus kinetic, supreme mathematics is to be applied. IB said lip professing. Knowledge Born said applying knowledge to knowledge and not knowledge to their own lives. You know, all of these is correct. You know, see, with the Rome Fetty, I think you got the answer too. You know, everybody here gave good answers, but the way you worded it is a little mixed up. That's one of the important things that you got to do, you know what I'm saying, as a teacher. You know what I mean? You have to, devise ways of getting the message across. The word they use is succinctly. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially depending on the people that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? If you're dealing with people like me, you're dealing with the knuckleheads of the world, you don't have a whole lot of time and a whole lot of words and shit. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to be able to cut through fairly quickly. You see what I'm saying? So to just put everything, you know what I mean, in a cipher that we could all see a little more clearly, right? The reason why people can't understand what's going on around them is because they don't understand what's going on inside of them. Now, I think that's what you were saying here, Ron Fetty. You said the person being in their own matter and not checking themselves out, looking from the outside in. You understand what I mean? So I think if what you meant there was to say they're not looking inside themselves for the answers. You know what I'm saying? But you was on the right track. Even if that's what you were saying, you was on the right track. You understand what I mean? They don't understand what's going on inside them. So now when all this stuff happening around you, who you start blaming? You don't take it to the build degree. You don't take it to the build degree and say all that above is caused by the Son of Man. Do you understand that cipher? Of the planet that you on, that you say you know the circumference of, that has a circumference, it's got to be a cipher, right? All of those is different ciphers that you in that you got to understand for what they are. Yeah, and then you start blaming the devil for everything. See, if you understood what was going on inside you, right, and that the lessons was only there to spark that, right, then you will realize, okay, now I know what I'm supposed to do. But if you just was here just studying doctrine, like that's why I don't like when people say that, like 5% doctrine. I know fucking doctrine. What the fuck are you talking about? But that's how people look at it. You know what I'm saying? People come out here, do we got any literature? Experience, we ain't supposed to be writing that down. I ain't got no literature for you. See, like I tell people, man, you come here, you gotta make your own book. I'm not King James. The law was in King James. I give you no book. You gotta write your own book. You see what I'm saying? If you understood what was going on inside you, then you would see that the knowledge degree is not just applying to some holy books. When they say Holy Quran or Bible, it tells you that that is your history. So how you supposed to get it from me? And I don't even know you. See, that's the part where it's telling you that everybody is the best known for themselves. They the best knower of themselves. I can't write your history. You know, and if I do, you're not, you know, you can still be God. I let you be God. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, see, look, if you let me write your history, right, this is how it's going to be. Wait till this come on, right? See, let me show y'all. Wait till the screen come up right here so I can show y'all. This is how it's going to be. See, look, if you let me write your history, right, in the history, see, this is going to be me right here. This is going to be you. Like, right. I let you be right here in the history I write for you. That's how that goes. You see what I'm saying? And look, that's looking out for you. That's looking out for you. You let the King James people, you go by that history, and you were a slave for 400 years, cursed with all type of shit because you let somebody else give you a history for you. You didn't have your head on a swivel when it was time to understand that cipher. See, that's why that is the reason why I put that, saying keep your head on a swivel so you can see 360 degrees. Nas Bourne said 6.5. Come on, Nas Bourne, you got to give me more credit than that. I'm gonna put you on 6.98. I'm not gonna do you like that. 6.98. Nah. You can't even, Malcolm, that's a little bit too lofty. That's a little bit too lofty in the history I'm gonna write for you. You know what I'm saying? You know, you might could be, you might, I'll let you be War of Dean. I'll let you be War of Dean. If you let me write your history. So you let people write your history. You end up a slave. Can't catch me like that. But we had the God I be. And let me put the link in here because I like to get IB's expertise on medical issues. So let's see if there's been any new developments here with this new variant. You know, and what should we keep our head on the swivel about pertaining to that? You know, because see, like I'm saying, this is now we getting to the point, right? Where it's like, okay, supposedly these people is all the experts, right? These people is all the experts. And we got you know, we got some experts saying, yo, this thing is this, is that, is, you know what I'm saying? You know, we all need to be, you know, we need to be on point about it, you know what I mean? But then I'm hearing that you got some other like doctors coming from South Africa where the strain is supposed to be from, and they like, yes, you know, it's contagious, but it's not particularly dangerous. You understand what I'm saying? But then here, they putting out, you know, I guess right now it's a recommendation, it's not a mandate, but it's a recommendation that you get the booster. And then this is the part where I'm saying the slippery slope part, where, okay, if every time a new strain is gonna come out, right, we're gonna have to get another booster, and this booster has to be slightly tweaked to deal with the new variant. Now we're dealing with the law of averages, where if you gotta give me something new, right, if you gotta give me something new every couple of months, right, the law of averages, you're gonna fuck up. That's just the law of averages. Eventually, one of these shits ain't gonna work out. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm a, you know, but let's see what's going on. Let's see what IB.
Peace.
Peace to God.
Peace, dog. How you?
All right.
So, I mean, with this Omicron, it's just like you said, though. The two doctors, one name is Angelique Coachia, right? She said that it's mild. Like, it's been mild. It's been like a lot of people been feeling tired after catching it. And she was saying that I think it was people that was vaccinated, but they showed mild symptoms and stuff like that. But then it's another doctor, and I forgot the other doctor name. I just heard about this earlier today. The other doctor is basically saying that people is facing mild to moderate disease, and it's people in their 20s and 30s or something like that. So it's two conflicting narratives coming out of South Africa. But the UK, it's been spread. You know, it's different people that just spread it all the way around already. So they're saying it's only a matter of time before it comes to America, or it's already here and they just haven't detected it yet. But they're not saying whether it's something that's going to be fatal or more fatal than the Delta variant right now. They said they need about 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks to fully understand the capability of this mutation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
now,
know, And that
One
you're
thing-
saying that, it just sparked the memory that, like I said, this is about the same time. Like the same time in 2019, we was hearing that it's something going on in China. And it might be in England, but it's not here yet. And we don't, we probably don't. But, the narrative is a little bit different this time because they know that it permeated the borders. But I'm just saying that to me is another little interesting. It's something to pay attention to.
Well, the thing that kills me about the whole situation is that Trump, even though he didn't do it immediately, a little while later when he did put the ban on China and all of that, what came out later was that the actual virus had came in through the UK. It came in through Europe, right? And it came to New York from people from Europe. They tracked the actual DNA of the virus, and people had brought it in here from Europe before he could even put the ban in. Yeah, so that's how
I'm just looking right now at a couple of stories that they putting out, and these is other places. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times you got to pay attention. If a place is a dictatorship or something, then yeah, they got a little bit different rules. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to pay attention. Like, okay, if that's a democracy and they did that there, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's not a democracy, you know what I mean? If you see policies start to get rolled out worldwide, it's one of the things I keep my head on the swivel for. So this right here is saying that residents in Greece, this is from Yahoo News. This is news from today. It says residents in Greece over 60 years old will have to undergo mandatory vaccinations against coronavirus or face monthly €100, $114 fines beginning next year. The Prime Minister announced Tuesday, declaring the country's first general inoculation mandate. That's
where's that at?
In Greece.
Oh, Greece.
You know what I'm saying? So Greece is I know they had communism there at different times, but I think this is a democracy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, keep your head on a swivel.
But they just approved that pill, that Merck pill. They saying that the Merck pill can only be used with people with moderate disease that are unvaccinated. It's not recommended to be used with people that are vaccinated. It's not recommended to be used with women that are pregnant, but it's pushed for people that are unvaccinated. So I don't know if it's approved there, but they said it's already approved in the UK.
And is it a treatment or a prevention?
It's a treatment.
All right. So
now they killed the mandate, the healthcare mandate in the US, right? And they halted the
story. I just saw this. I just was about to read the story. It says judge blocks COVID-19 vaccine rule for healthcare workers across the US.
Yep. And the other one is halted too. The 100 worker or more mandate, that's halted too. So I don't know. There's something going on.
So is this the one? What was the one that we were speaking about the other day? Where actually it's a couple of cases going. Like there's something where they put some kind of stay. Like the case was supposed to be going to the Supreme Court. Is this the same thing?
That's the 100 worker or more mandate, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
That's the OSHA.
Man. Right, yeah, that one, yeah.
Yeah, so that one is on a stay, and the other one is held up too. So it looks like, depending now, like you said, keep your head on the swivel, because depending on whether this Omicron situation is lethal. If it's lethal, you could expect them to pull everything out. But if it's proved to just be a mild variant, then they might just stop all of this bullshit. But see, look, it's a brother, I ain't gonna say a brother, it's a doctor named John Campbell on YouTube. He got a lot of fame on YouTube talking about the virus, and he talks about it objectively, right? Now, what he said was, what could happen is being that the Omicron is not as lethal as the other viruses or variants, I should say, being that it's highly infectious, right? Meaning that it gets passed around very fast. It might be the virus that changes the game, meaning that it gets everybody infected with the virus, but not the disease, which would make everybody pretty much, immune to the virus. Now that's a counter narrative that a lot of people probably wouldn't support that, but that's plausible.
Yeah, I'm gonna tune in tonight, see what Dr. Russ got to say about that. But
we're gonna be talking.
I see a little bit of they doing, what they do. They rule by fear. So you said Moderna was the ones that had the pill that got approved, right?
Merck.
All right. So Moderna, the CEO from Moderna, this is an article from Market Watch. This was reported today as well, November 30th. It said, this is not going to be good. Moderna CEO on what scientists are telling him about the Omicron coronavirus variant. Moderna mRNA CEO Stephanie Bancel has left no doubt, Stefan Bancel has left no doubt whether he's taking a glass half full or a half empty approach to the emergence of the new Omicron coronavirus variant. He told the Financial Times, there's no world where current vaccines are as effective as they have been against the Delta variant, and he suggested the drop-off could be significant. Well, like it says right down here, product sales from its coronavirus vaccine accounted for 4.81 billion of Moderna's 4.97 billion in revenue for the third quarter. So, he's going to be pumping it. That kind of, it kind of throws some kind of bias or something in there.
Nah, but you gotta look at it like this, right? For Moderna, they have been constantly trying to get a viable vaccine since they began, right? And they haven't been able to come up with a working vaccine. Some people say that that's failure. Some people say that that's progress. It depends on how you look at it. But now that they do finally have a working vaccine, it's still limited because it's only targeted one protein on the virus, right? So now if this variant makes their vaccine mute, then they will fail and possibly go under because they don't have any other platform that's working. Now, they said that the Sinovac vaccine that's coming out of China may be more effective with Omicron because it attacks all of the proteins of the virus. You see that? You see the difference? If you only make the vaccine for the spike protein as opposed to the whole virus, then if the spike protein mutates, then your vaccine is not effective anymore. But if you got the vaccine for the whole virus, then you still it may not be as effective or had a high efficacy rate as they said for these vaccines, but it still will be effective for multiple mutations because it's for the whole virus in general.
Right. Now I got a side question based on that, and just kind of the way the vaccine works through the mechanism of disturbing the proteins so that the process of infection can't proceed, right? So if you have it, because all viruses kind of have these spike proteins, right?
I'm not gonna say that. I don't know that for sure.
No, I'm not saying they all have the same ones, but I'm saying they all have some kind of spike proteins, right?
It's a possibility. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so because I'm saying that it sounds like that other vaccine might be more universally effective.
Yeah, it's more universally effective because it's not just targeting the spike.
Right. So I'm saying it might be effective even against other viruses that's not coronavirus, I'm saying.
No, because the Sinovac vaccine, I think is a attenuated or killed virus. It's actually the virus in the vaccine.
All right. I see. But it says here, Moderna had previously announced that the data on the ability of this vaccine to neutralize the Omicron variant would be expected within weeks, as it works to rapidly advance the booster candidate specifically against the variant. Yeah, that's I didn't even check that. Some days I really gotta check the news. I didn't see that. Stock market.
Now it's time to stay abreast with this whole thing, just unrolling that, all at the same time. You got to pay attention to every day because it's going to change every day.
Going on, playing around with the stock market with this stuff, man. But yeah, these new developments, man, is he definitely says here, Michigan new record for hospitalizations. So let me guess, is this, when I open this story, is it going to be a vax versus unvax type of?
Michigan is the new hotspot, right?
Yeah, I guess that's what they're saying. But I'm, because I'm noticing that a lot of this, they immediately kind of turn it into that vax versus unvax thing, because that's that's the second thing that's going to come out. The first thing is going to be that there's a spike in the hospitalization. The second thing is going to be whether it's mostly people that's vaccinated or people that's not vaccinated that's being hospitalized.
Well, that's the pro-vax. That's the pro-vax argument. All them pro-vax doctors, they always say that the most people that's been in the hospital since the Delta has been unvaccinated people. They got the highest percentage.
I mean, but this story right here is coming out of the Detroit News. Michigan reached a new record of adults hospitalized with COVID-19 on Monday, with 4,181 hospitalized with confirmed cases of the virus.
And what's their rate?
What's
their vaccination rate?
Yeah, I'm trying to find that now. They're saying 80% of total hospital beds is full. 84% of intensive care unit beds are full. But it says here hospitalizations have been increasing for 19 weeks. 9 hospitals are 100% full. Another 22 hospitals are above 90%. All right, here it goes. It's almost exclusively unvaccinated. Dr. Matthew Sims, director of infectious disease research for Beaumont Health, told the Detroit News during the Sunday break of caring for COVID-19 patients. And I can tell you the numbers that we've seen by me and my partners in the last couple of days have gone up.
Mm.
So Omar, so they saying that they don't think it's the Thanksgiving effect, meaning, you know, people gathering with family or whatever, passing coronavirus on, you know, but they don't have the hard numbers here. Another 205 adults and 139 children are hospitalized with suspected cases.
Suspected.
Yeah, that's it, you know. So, you know, with everything else, they got some pretty hard numbers here, I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You know, when they just said it's almost exclusively unvaccinated, you know, how many other control factors are you leaving out? You know, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times, you know, it's you know, if you read these things before and you've seen the level of you know, the level of detail that they go into with some things, and then with some things they just kind of gloss it over. To me, that's like a red flag.
Well, this is from Our World in Data, right? It says that Michigan's vaccination rate right now, at least one dose is 61.2%, and fully vaccinated is 54.6%.
Right now, see, that's one of those things where, like I said, it just stands to reason that, yeah, you're going to get a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? If you got a state that is don't have a very high vaccination rate, then yeah, most of the people is in that state that get hospitalized is going to be not vaccinated, but it doesn't necessarily equate to the vaccine being effective.
Right. Right.
But yeah, that's so yeah, Michigan, which, you know, Michigan, they was pretty big in it, you know, from the jump, because my daughter went to college in Michigan.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So I recall that they went into lockdown before New York because she just showed up one day.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's why they stormed the Capitol.
Yeah, she just showed up one day. It was like, yo, what you know, what's the deal? I thought you were supposed to be in school. She was like, yeah, they just sent us home.
That's where they stormed the Capitol, and for the chick, what's her name? Gretchen Whitmer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they stormed the Capitol over there. That was the first time. Because of the mandates that she put in or whatever, right?
Yeah. You know, another topic, I was listening to the people, they was debating back and forth about the kind of the merits of the Democratic Party versus the Republican Party. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things where it's like, look, you know, you're never going to win with a dog in that fight. You understand what I'm saying? Like you know, to me, what it is like I said, you gotta look at what other people is doing. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you know, you got the people in, see, with other people, I'm talking about the people that really make the decisions, right? They don't necessarily just go with a blanket statement to say, you know, you're a Democratic, you know what I'm saying, or you're a Republican. Meaning, like, look, you see the Jewish organizations, right? They have like a grading system. They're not the only ones. You know what I mean? Like the Tea Party and those type of people, they have like a grading system where they give this politician a grade. Like, even if this organization might be a conservative organization, meaning they favor the Republicans, but they'll say, out of the Republicans, yo, this dude right here, we give him an F, yo, because he don't be voting with us when it's time for, when our main issues come up, like gun control or whatever, he don't be voting with us. See, he's a big city Republican. He gets an F. And the person who, we can count on this motherfucker. Whether it's guns, abortion, war, we can count on this motherfucker here. He gets an A. And then they identify people around the country, right? They identify, like right now, they didn't identify certain motherfuckers. Like, yeah, we called them up and we hollered at him. He got different principles than us, right? But there's a path through his principles, right? That we could still get him to agree with us. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, this person may agree with this policy for their own reason. And another politician might agree with that policy for their own reason. All we really get into is the policy. So now we can identify these people to say, look, the people in that area over there, vote for that congressman right there, because we hollered at him, you know what I'm saying? And when this shit come up to the vote, we think we could talk to him. You understand what I'm saying? Or even to say, listen, that motherfucker y'all been voting for like the last 45, 50 years, yeah, get rid of that nigga, man. Yeah, he's fucking up. This is the actual record of what he's doing. You see what I'm saying? And then you're dealing with individual by individual. See, that's how you could be. See, pro-righteousness, that's what it is. We going action by action. What the fuck is you doing? If it's right, I'm with you. If it's not, get the fuck on. You see what I'm saying?
Well, why are we not doing that?
I mean, because people are so trapped. It's like they argue with each other, but it's like, dude, you're still trapped in the game. Like, this is a part of the game. Like, you thinking that arguing with these other people about which side is right is leaving it. No, that's the fucking game. That's what they want you to do. That's why it's only two of them. So, but I'm saying, until you look, we got a lot of motherfuckers that went to college, God. See, that's what I tell you, God, about the forgotten prophet. You can't fool me with a lot of shit. See, one thing that the thing that I wasn't able to cope with, right, was that being that I wasn't really learning nothing in school when I first got there, because she educated me to that level. Everything I looked at, you know what I'm saying, with my own eyes. Like, I had reached a point in school where I came to the point, I was like, see, really, I'm smarter than teachers. The only difference is they got the book with the answers in it. See, a lot of this other stuff, man, people is academic and they've been to academia, they got all the big words, right? But they don't really know how to analyze what it is that they're doing. So you get on there and, some of the stuff I be hearing, like, damn, I ain't never heard, like, even I got my oldest daughter, I be talking to her, she talking about, anti-blackness manifests itself in all these different ways. You understand what I'm saying? They have 1,000 academic ways of looking at it, but they haven't really just backed out and looked at what it really is. So see, that's why, like I said, because my relationship with academia, I can see how a lot of them is really idiots. They people that's highly proficient in one or two areas. See, for the younger people, right, that y'all grew up with geek chic, and y'all grew up with the cool people. See, ain't no John Wayne right now. Ain't no, Brad Pitt is the toughest guy they got now. So in this time right now, where people grew up, right, where, the people that got the money, like, let's look at the list, right? Top 5 richest motherfuckers. It's not a real nigga on the list. I'm not saying that, who was on the list 40 or 50 years ago could necessarily survive the project, but I'm saying that when back in the days, it was people that was in the oil industry that used to be the richest. And they was just a different type of individual who grew up under a cowboy, more masculine kind of aesthetic. See what I'm saying? The same way the people now, they tell you how, when I started out, I was coding in my, people with their rich stories of how they came up. The people that was from the oil industry, they tell you how, when I used to work on the ranch, and then I used to work on the oil rig. This was the kind of thing that they was doing. You understand what I mean? See, right now, you growing up with these individuals that they nerdy. You understand what I mean? And so a kind of just way of looking at the world through that academic, theoretical type of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning, like, if you tried half of the things that people do on Facebook in real life, you would get killed. If you went around talking to people like how you talk to people on Facebook.
That's a fact.
So, that to me is just the issue. And, that's something that I always seen. I never understood that. Why is there this kind of blind loyalty? You know what I'm saying? Not saying that the people that was there, if you was there in 1964, 1968, then yeah, why the fuck would you vote for the Republicans? You understand what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that at no point, like rich people, billionaires, they'll tell you that. That when it comes to president, I voted Republican, I voted Democrat. I don't give a fuck. Whoever is not going to play with my money.
I see it even on that grand scale, and even on a small scale too, though, within our community. Like why we continue to support the current movements in our community. Like those movements are stale and they not doing anything anymore. Like they're not effective for our community. Like, the NAACP, the Urban League, and different religious institutions. Like last night they had a debate. I haven't watched your man Mean Gene in a minute. I tuned in last night. Man, Jabari was debating one of them Indian dudes, Aboriginal dudes. And right. The Aboriginal dude was basically saying, like, yo, listen, what has Pan-Africanism done for us? I had to think about that. Like, listen, what we getting out of the deal? Like, seriously. Many of these different movements, they're not doing nothing. We're not moving forward as a people. And it's on that lower scale in our community and on that higher scale with these parties and all of that. I think we got to rethink this whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pan-Africanism falls in the realm of that type of idea. You know what I'm saying? It sounds good in theory, right? But there's a hardcore reality, right? We like to blame slavery for a lot of things, right? But there's some things we brought with us from over there. You know what I'm saying? And one of them is tribalism. Tribalism is clearly stronger amongst Africans and descendants of Africans than amongst any other group of people. Tribalism. It cannot be defeated amongst Black people. You understand what I'm saying? We would jump in we would jump into tribes that don't even have nothing to do with each other just to fight. That don't have anything to do with us. North versus South. Like, dude, that's some white people's beef. That was about keeping us fucked up. Why would I have a side in that fight? East versus West. Again, this is a white people fight. Why am I jumping in, Army versus Navy? Get the fuck out of here. Republicans versus Democrats. You see what I'm saying? So that tribalism is just something that's not figured in. Like that's, there's just that's one of the problems that I see. That, you got this concept, but then when you, try to implement it, that's the first thing. You understand what I mean? Is that the tribal nature, right, causes a big problem right off the top. Right off the top. We all gonna come together, right? All right. But who rules we gonna buy and who gonna be at the head of this shit? See, whether it's Morris Science, 5%, NOI, light skin, dark skin, old, young, Republicans, Democrats, Africans, Caribbeans, Pacific Islanders, right? Which one we rolling with? You see what I'm saying? That's what I seen. So it's one of them things where the concept is beautiful, right? But we have to admit that it never existed. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the Africans didn't see themselves as one thing. They don't see themselves as one thing now. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So the idea, there's been people, right, who espouse the idea that did do things and advance things forward. You know what I'm saying? But as an idea, I just think it can't get off of the ground. You know what I mean? Because, see, for instance, this is what, just a conversation that I heard, right? Is that, well, okay, it's called Africanism. So who else would be at the forefront except Africans? Then isn't this thing about y'all all coming from Mother Africa? Why are we not giving out the directives?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then you have, the idea that, it says Africanism, but that's because that's what us in America put on it. We're the ones that put in all the work. We're the ones with the resources that everybody, use in one way or another, right? And then you have the Caribbeans coming in saying, yeah, but we started it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So until we really get an idea, right, that supersedes, I'm from Park Hill, you from Stapleton. You understand? We find all types of reasons. Like even look, we in Park Hill, everything is smooth. But listen, building 160, yeah, that's our shit. Y'all don't come over here. That's as long as that mindset exists, you know what I'm saying? Everything is going to be limited. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we where we at. So nobody's going to be able to win the day. Meaning, I've heard the same thing said about every aspect of the movement. You know what I'm saying? That, the Black Panthers was clearly a government conspiracy because, all they was ever destined to do was get people killed. That was they was clearly from the government because they took a peaceful movement that was making advancements, right? I.e. the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, immigration, et cetera, right? And through this militancy and bank robbing, et cetera, sidetracked everything. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I've heard it go the other way. That, you know, what did Martin Luther King and the whole peaceful movement do for us? Because, you know, really, it was the threat of the militant wing that really caused them to say, well, let's cooperate with this guy before we had to deal with them. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, with all of these things, you know, those is just learning, you know, things we could learn from. But, you know, what I see is that the rhetoric just gets ramped up. It just gets like the rhetoric right now is ramped up, you know, to where like even the unification, you know what I'm saying? One of the reasons, you know, like you got, you know, kind of Pan-Africanism versus the American descendants of slave kind of argument going on, you know what I'm saying?
That's a crazy argument.
Say it again.
I said that's a crazy argument. That one and the one with the Indian people that claim Indian too.
Right.
I mean, yo, listen, correct me if I'm wrong, right? According to our degrees, it seems to me as if Elijah Muhammad is saying all original people, not just, you know, the black man from Africa, but all over the world, black, brown, red, and yellow. Mm-hmm. So where's these divisions coming from? Like, I don't understand. Like, I went on the guard room one day and I said, you know, Elijah taught us that we are original people of the planet Earth. That's not no boundary, right? We know every square inch of the planet Earth, right? So, and they had the nerve to ask me, what did I mean by original people? And I was confused because they on this whole academic realm and this, that. What do you mean? What do I mean by original people?
Yeah, that's, you know, pretty much, but see what it is. See now, in that room, right, my opinion, right, is that one of these days, Rabon is going to realize that he's been empowering people that don't like us.
Yo, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get the point that Rabon is making is he's destroying the mythology. But see, these people that's agreeing with you is only agreeing with you because you kind of proving a point. Because see, one thing that happens is I hear them in other rooms. And when they go in other rooms and they start saying shit, you understand what I mean? See, like, look, when a white person or any other person gets mad at me, they don't say, you fucking 5%er.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know how you get a motherfucker that you fucking with and they other than you, right? But then now when you get mad, you like, you fucking nigga. So that means that somewhere in the back of your mind, you see that as negative, or you wouldn't have said it then. You didn't say, you, like look, here's the thing, like, look, I'll give you an example of something that some people, like motherfuckers will say, you a New Yorker, oh, these New Yorkers. See, that means that somewhere in your mind, you see being a New Yorker and being from New York as negative. So see, don't be using it with me. Don't be using it with me in jest now. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the same thing in certain things where it's like, yeah, they be in the room with Rob Bourne, and yeah, we all the same, and boom, boom, and we don't know why it's this separation. But then you'll go in another room, and because somebody got you upset, now this other side of how you see us comes out. So, you know, I just from my observation, I'm like, yo, man, I see what's going on here. But like I said, I think the issue is that you got a lot of people with fucked up attitudes. See, like I said, just in general right now, you know, people are not respectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, you know, I carry myself for respect. I don't disrespect people. You know what I'm saying? I've been in many atmospheres where respect is life and death. you know what I'm saying, with just showing respect and not falling for disrespect, you can survive easy in that world. You understand what I'm saying? You may have to get in a situation or two, but once people see that you respect everybody and you're not gonna fall for disrespect, motherfuckers leave you alone. Any brother that's been from the hood, we couldn't know that. Even if it's just that you wasn't that individual, but you knew that, look, you had a cousin that was not gonna fall for disrespect, motherfuckers left you alone.
That's a fact.
You understand what I'm saying? So I don't really, get into, or that's why I'm like coming on, you know what I'm saying? But those types of things, people just being disrespectful is caused the rhetoric to go a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And none of them, they all, in my opinion, too prideful to just admit that, look, there's certain mean and nasty people at the leadership of all of these movements. And they say things and put things in a way. And then the argument goes back and forth and it starts spiraling downhill. You see what I'm saying? So for instance, you have the narrative, one of the narratives that always lead to problems is the Black people from America saying that the immigrant groups come here and take their jobs, right?
You ain't got no job.
But see, here's how it should be put, or this is how I would put it, right? To where I would think that this wisdom would lead to more understanding, right? Is when you explain that, listen, America has been robbing Peter to pay Paul. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So look, Paul, Paul being the immigrant groups. Look, Paul, the reason that your name is coming up in this conversation is because America keeps giving us a receipt that says Paul on it. And so you hear us saying, fuck Paul, we don't know who the fuck is Paul because we want our money. But it's not personal. If you're not going to help us get our money, just mind your business. It's not nothing against you. Take your money and run. But we're not falling for the okie doke of this motherfucker saying that he paid us. What he owes y'all, that's a separate bill. He owe y'all too. Y'all should be over there saying, yeah, where's our money from all the shit Bill Gates and Tesla and all these motherfuckers took out of our country for 2 pennies?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's what you should be saying. But instead, it kind of seems like you protecting America because we asking for our money and you saying, nah, don't ask for it.
Don't ask for it.
Don't ask for it. Look at all the shit you got already. Yeah, that don't matter. If Bill Gates don't say, that 100,000, yeah, go ahead, hold that, man, I got enough. Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, but listen, now you bring up an interesting point right there, though, because that is a little bit of cognitive dissonance. Because if you go to another one of these countries, I don't say the word third world country because that's white supremacy in itself, right? But if you go to another one of these countries, the luxuries that even us in the hood are partaking in is something that they dream of.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, some places don't have running water, electricity.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, internet access. A lot of these different things, right? So for them to come here and see us living where, some of them may have dreamed to be. And for us to be here saying, no, we want this, that, and the third, that right there is going to create, the constant struggle between us.
Now, here's my opinion on that, right? That I gained from watching the Jamaicans. The Puerto Ricans to a certain degree, but not the same. But those are the first two groups that I knew. You know what I'm saying? Like they passed that act back in the 60s, but people didn't really start flooding in to America to the early 80s. You know what I'm saying? And what I've seen is that the relative deprivation is a powerful thing. You know what I'm saying? That you don't hear as many Jamaicans with that type of narrative that y'all Black Americans is wasting all this opportunity. And it's because after a couple of generations, right, their kids have become American and they starting to see, or they've already seen that, yeah, that opportunity that we thought we had when we came here, it only appeared to be opportunity because of where we came from.
Right.
In reality, we're not living the American dream where it's like, okay, we got a house and then our kids go on to live better than us and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the gang problem that's going on in New York right now is the West Indians. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning that they've come to see that, yo, you know something? These Black Americans knew what the fuck they was talking about. It is some shit here about the man. The man is holding you back. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't see it at first. But the groups that's been here the longest, they got a grasp on it. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. See, that's why the Puerto Ricans can grasp it better than the Mexicans. Because the Puerto Ricans have been here for enough generations to know that, yeah, there's something about those motherfuckers they holding us back. You understand what I'm saying? See, like you said, you out there with that attitude that, yo, son, if only I was there, son. Son, why them bitch ass niggas get to be over there, son? Like, why the fucking boat took those niggas over there and them niggas ain't shit? That's what they be thinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's hate.
You know how you be on that bus
right there.
You know how you be on that bus? You be on that bus going to jail and shit, and you looking out the window like, yo, son, these niggas is just wasting freedom out there, man. The fuck is that nigga? Like, yo, why is that nigga free? Now I'm just not out of everybody. Why is that nigga free though? What the fuck is he gonna do with it?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
That's what they sitting back thinking in their country. But then when they get here, they realize like, nah, this shit ain't free, son. We thought we was free. They thinking you can't even cross the street.
Yeah, that's a hell of a wake-up call.
So to me, but see, there's another thing, you know, that I have an opinion, right? Is that actually, I just forgot my opinion, what I was going to say. Oh, this is what it was. The people who is at the foundation, right, of a lot of Black consciousness, right? You know, rather it's on the, you know, theological plane, whether it's on the academic plane, political plane, whatever, these people was all kind of, they like bad attitude kind of people and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they real snarky kind of people. You know what I'm saying? They just, you know, the way they speak down to people that, you know, they just don't know what they know or don't believe what they believe and shit. And that shit was just passed down. That type of attitude and way. Like I'm saying, like John Henry Clark, that's my man. You know what I'm saying? Anytime he come up on my feed, I always check him out. But he do be talking loose to people.
Yeah. Yeah, he said I only argue with my equals.
All others I teach. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he be talking loose to people, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, Marcus Garvey, W.B. Du Bois, Malcolm X, you know, even Martin Luther King, you know, he had his people that he took out. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's that's just something that has been passed down. You know what I'm saying? A kind of self-righteousness, right? But it just at the end of the day, it's an unwillingness to teach. You know what I'm saying? It's an unwillingness to build. You understand what I'm saying?
Actual fact. That's the whole reason why I stopped watching Mean Gene and them. Really, when I did the knowledge to that aspect of it, because they got that tendency over there, like they the authority. And then I had to look in the mirror. I had to say, hold on, who's Allah? You feel what I'm saying? These brothers, they don't know no better than me. Like, okay. So the father, that interview that he did, right? That been circulating around. Is that interview right and exact?
You talking about with Gabe Pressman?
Huh?
The interview with Gabe Pressman?
It's on. I had it. I think it's in the Knowledge Itself book. They got it written out, and then they I had it on paper, but it was basically talking about, you know, him and he was talking about his wife, how his wife was trying to teach him Elijah Muhammad, and he's like, nah, I'm Allah, basically. You understand what I'm saying? It was various things he was talking about in that bill.
Well, it did come to a point where that happened. You know, I'm not exactly sure. I don't think I've seen the article. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna show it to you one day. I forgot where the interview was at, but I got it. I got it in my book of life. But I'm gonna show it to you one day. Well, anyway, the whole reason I brought that up is because it's like he was saying that Dora was trying to teach him Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah.
And he was saying, no, you got to be the person that's the main factor in your life. Right? Just to paraphrase, right? Mm-hmm. You got to be the main factor in this household. If I'm Allah, then you're not going to teach me Elijah Muhammad because I'm the main factor in this cycle. You feel what I'm saying? And that's how it is with them dudes over there. They want to teach and have you follow a personality where you checking into a personality. And it's that's the whole thing with a lot of these leaders, religious leaders, government officials, teachers. They want you to worship the cult of personality. And that takes away from you.
Right. Absolutely. That's what a lot of people is caught up in this nation. People that don't understand, they caught up in the cult of personality part. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Spock said here, Mexicans been in the U.S. as long as Puerto Ricans are longer on the West Coast. See, they've been here, but they haven't assimilated, because they have a steady stream of non-Americans coming in and out. Yes, I mean, the Puerto Ricans don't, most of them women speak Spanish like that. That I know.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like they can speak to the people in their house, but like if you just send them to Spain, they lost.
Yo, you know what's crazy is that I've been studying this marketing book called Marketing in the Flat World, right? It's dealing with global marketing. Like if you want to start a global company. And one of the things they talk about is marketing segments. And they said that from the millennials down across the world, they got a global similar spending and buying habits. Right? So like they all, like most of them around the world, millennials and down are losing their ancestors' culture. And they buying into this global culture.
Yeah. That's pretty much, yeah. You know, I got, I think I got 3 millennials, a Gen Z, and I think I got 3 millennials and 2 Gen Zs. And yeah, they next, man. I'm tell you nothing about the millennials. See, for years, people been talking about them. You know, they told them motherfuckers getting old. They starting to get up there. So.
Yeah, that's a fact. My son is 26 years old.
Yeah. Listen, the oldest millennial is like 40. it's a big age group. You know what I'm saying? It's like from 1980 to 1995 or something like that. 96.
I think the 30 and down is different though than the 40 and down.
True, it is. It's segments. It's like that with the baby boomers too. Where you got the baby boomers that was born right after the war, right? And then you got the baby boomers that was born in the 50s. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they grew up, that's the real spoiled bunch right there. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, they grew up, you know, everybody's parents was living in that post-World War II economy. You understand what I'm saying? And then you got the baby boomers from the 60s. And those late 50s, early 60s baby boomers, those motherfuckers kind of destructive. Nah, I ain't playing. Listen, those are the crackheads. Those are the founders of these gangs.
Yo, you right though. You right. But they got hit with that bomb.
That's a destructive bunch right there, man. You know, I'm not exactly sure what their story is. You know what I'm saying? But you know, those is definitely they different breed. You know what I'm saying?
Because they tried to eradicate them. They tried to eradicate them.
Put it like this: those baby boomers that was born in the late 40s, right? They didn't really have drugs around them like that. See, by the time the motherfuckers who was born in the late 50s and the 60s, they grew up with all that decadent society shit, all that social revolution shit. These are the motherfuckers who they had their formative years during the riots and shit like that.
A good book that talk about that is Man Child in the Promised Land.
Yeah, that was one of my jump offs. My uncle gave me that book when I was wilding out. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when I read it, I was like, damn, you know what? That was the first thing that kind of cracked my brain. Like, damn. It was like, as I was reading this shit, especially because it's a New York story. So the places that he's talking about and everything, it's like, oh shit, y'all know where that's at and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it was also that at the time, it was like you could just replace certain words, right? And the story was right now. Meaning like he was growing up and he was talking about how dope came out and how it ran through the neighborhood and affected everybody. And you know what I'm saying? And it was like at the same time, you know, crack is rampaging through our neighborhood and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was like just the parallels and shit. Like it was one of the first things like, wait a minute. You know how people say, yo, man, you know, see what you doing right now? I already did that. I already been through all that, man. I'm saying, before you get the fuck out of here, man, you did what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Right. After I read that book, I started respecting that. Yeah, you know something? Motherfucker might have did what the fuck I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? But
come to find out.
Yeah. You know, it's just a couple of social factors with them. You know what I'm saying? And then you get the Generation X people, right? Who is, okay, social collapse. Society collapses, and this group of people becomes very cynical, right? And untrusting. You know what I'm saying? They not buying into shit. You can't get them to be down with shit, right? And you really can't figure this group of motherfuckers out until hip hop music comes out. When hip hop music came out, they was able to market to Generation X. You know what I'm saying? Now, I can't speak for the whole world, but I'm saying that we know, like in New York, right? We wasn't going to the Gucci store. We wasn't mainstream. We didn't want that shit. We going to Dapper Dan. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't, you know, that wasn't a thing, you know what I'm saying, to really, you know, whatever it was, dudes was going, like, yeah, of course you got to buy stuff from corporate America because we don't produce it. You know what I'm saying? But we going to rock it in a way they ain't mean for you to rock it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, I mean, yeah, we in the society we in now, you know what I'm saying? Because of a couple of things. Now, see, the millennials in that generation of people, you know, they was raised on TV in a certain particular kind of way where they could be sold anything, you know, and they've just, you know, they participated in this shit for so long that they don't understand, you know what I'm saying? Like they've been putting their life online so long that they don't understand privacy the same way we understand privacy. You understand what I'm saying? They don't understand personal business. You know, a person put their posts up and you can click like or put your comment. They don't understand life the way we understand it. It's, yo, that person's doing a thing, mind your fucking business. You understand what I'm saying?
They definitely don't understand that.
Yeah, you don't gotta say nothing about what this person is doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially because we talking about the internet where, nigga, you could log into another room, nigga. You could log off. You could go on another channel. You don't gotta stay here and fucking argue. You see, everybody got to put a piece of their mind. And someone say nothing about these new motherfuckers. They all got gang mentality. You know,
right.
If you attack one of us, you've attacked all of us. Whether we right or wrong. That's our business whether we was right or wrong.
It's crazy. Because I seen my little man just came home from the feds, right? Mm-hmm. And I ain't even reach out to him because I already know what type of time he on. But anyway, long story short, I see him, he go live on Facebook. Talking about, yeah, I just went to motor vehicle and wasted my whole day in motor vehicle. I'm gonna try again tomorrow. And I'm looking at this joint and I'm like, I'm totally lost because I'm like, first of all, you just came home from prison. I wasn't that free to give up my information at that time, just coming home from prison. For one, because I don't know what I'm gonna get violated for, and for two, I don't know if I got any ops left. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what I'm gonna get violated. Yeah, you're right about that. Listen, I remember when you say, yo, listen, man, God, look, if a hair falls out of my head right now, you know what I'm saying? And some motherfuckers come here later on tonight and get in some shit. And when they come and do the investigation, they find my hair right there, I'm going to jail. That was what we said. Listen, like you said, brother just came home. That's a motherfucker tell you quick. You suggest something stupid, and say, yo, my man, I'm on parole, man.
Word up.
Before a nigga even let you get it out your mouth, man. Oh, I'm on parole, man.
Straight up. You got anything in this car? Let me out. Anything.
Yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. People have grown up with a whole different type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Where I be telling people like, yo, you know, if be people I disagree with them all the time, just log off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, like you know, when like you said with Mean Gene, you know, I check out Mean Gene. Sometimes he entertaining. When the entertainment fades away, I stop watching. For a while until I see another interesting topic come up and shit. You know what I mean? Like I have shit to do. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a little bit because sometimes I be noticing that too, man. Like it'd be some people like, yo, you got a lot of time to be on social media and shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know. Right. And just the whole this other things, like for instance, right now they got this thing, you know, come for me. You know, don't come for me. Oh, you came for me. But what they mean is you posted some shit on social media. You know, come for me. You know what I'm saying? When I was coming up, listen, nigga looking for me. All right, we're going to look for him right now.
Right.
You know, we're not talking about people exchanging words on what's the name. I'm just saying that some of the basic, like, look, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Things that I learned in elementary school about behavior, you know what I'm saying, in preschool, you know, from my family and from when I got to school. You understand what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Somebody knocking on the door? Oh. You understand what I mean? So it's all these different things. It's like, yeah, you got just a different group of people with a different, you know, to them, everything, that's another thing about them. Everything is statistics. If you under like 45, everything in your life is about statistics. And that's another thing I don't understand. You can see statistically, a lot of shit can be the case, you know, but realistically, you in 100% of whatever category you in. You understand what I mean? Like if a motherfucker say, listen, 10% of the people that did that died. If you one of those people, it's 100%.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of these things they be saying, I don't. But that's their training. That's they, you know what I'm saying? That's what they was taught to come with. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have
literally though. Literally, that is what they literally teach you that, and especially in my coursework, dealing with health education, they literally teach you, listen, you say a statistic. First of all, you start with your credentials, right? You say what school, what your major was, this, that, and the third, to give validity to your audience, and then you give them some statistics so you could compare groups, and then you come with a reference. That's literally what they teach you to do.
Yeah, and see, and then the thing with that is though, is now there's no real world shit though. See, like how we look with the medical field, right? You got kind of I'm sure you got more categories, but I'm saying you got, you know, a basic 2 categories, right? You got medicine that works in the petri dish, and you got medicine that works in the person. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's kind of that same thing. You know what I'm saying? These statistics that you're saying, when you're dealing with other people and y'all talking about those statistics, that's how, you know what I'm saying, y'all both on that same plane, it means something. But when you talking in the real world, a lot of this stuff don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think they get that because they've been, you know, so trained to understand that language. You know what I mean? Just like if we went outside and start speaking in mathematics to everybody, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't understand. Like sometimes I catch myself doing that. Like I might be somewhere, a person say, yo, how much is that? I mean, understand it's not 30. You see what I'm saying? I catch myself doing that. You see what I'm saying? But with these people, they think it, and then it's like, okay, if you don't have all the statistics, like, listen, man, I don't need the statistics. I don't need the statistics to say certain things. You know what I'm saying?
That's why when I went to college, right? I went to college in prison, right? For my first degree was associates. And the guard, I had a couple guards that was in my group in the classes that I was taking or whatever. And one of the guards, his name was Tamar. He always stressed that, look, if you read these books, you take these courses, after you finish with one of them books, make sure you read a book like Stolen Legacy, right? Destruction of the Black Civilization, right? It came from Africa. All of these different books, you got to read these books after because they will spin you and they will have you so swooned up in their liberalism and they Western culture and all of these different things that you will be arguing their argument and you won't even know it. You won't even know it. Mm-hmm. So that's why we always had to stay grounded by reading, you know, something from, you know, from African literature or something from the nation when y'all started to come out with books later on, something like that to keep us grounded.
Yeah, that's the word right there, grounded. That's exactly the word. You know what I'm saying? They not grounded, you know, just, you know, like some of the conversations they be having, it's like, look, you know, I just, I just have to admit that, look, I'm not on that level of education where I can't conceive of the multitude of genders that I've heard speaking of right now. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't think there's a limit. Like your gender could be space astronaut. You know what I'm saying? These different types of things, I never understood the world like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain amount of objective reality, right? That it appears to be easy for you to ignore these days. You know what I'm saying? Because, when you're living in the virtual world or, just society at large in general right now, there's certain things, like I said, you don't have to deal, your dealings with people, right? It's not life and death in this world. You know what I'm saying? Just with any situation, you know what I'm saying? Just, what your character means and all this type of things, you know what I'm saying? The actual value system that we've built up is, and then it's just some things to me, I'm still from those days too, where it's just like, I can't believe Black people are saying some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Since when this type of stuff started going on?
Well, if nowadays, like, I remember when I was a teenager, I could walk down 125th Street and get all types of literature that would challenge my traditional thoughts, right? Mm-hmm. Nowadays, you could walk all over Harlem and not get one piece of literature.
Yeah, I think it's like, I know that bookstore is still over there on like 132nd, 131st.
Yeah, but see, before they used to pass it to you though, is what I'm saying. Like,
my point is what I'm saying. That's like the last bookstore left. There was one up on like 156, 157, something like that. But I'm saying like because that was part of the source of that. You know what I'm saying? When you had what was the other thing over there by Lenox Avenue on 125th Street that they closed down? God damn, what's the name of that bookstore?
I forgot.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When you had all of those type of people out there, you know what I mean? And just the knowledge was circulating, and just kind of when you look at the history of Harlem, you know what I'm saying? It just always was a place since the 20s that was bustling with some type of consciousness, man. You know what I mean? Like there's like, you ever read some of the history of Harlem and just some of the characters? You know what I'm saying? Like the dude, who was the lady that Bumpy Johnson was working for? Madam something?
The queen, what's her name?
Right, the queen. Now, you remember the dude that she was married to and she shot him?
Yeah. Somebody was talking about this recently.
That guy was a character. He was he's somebody to look into. Like he was like on some Noble Drew Ali fire shit.
Yeah, Rasta something, right?
Yes, I can't recall his name. But yeah, there was a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Coming in Harlem, I seen people giving speeches because, when I came to the state office building was always there. And people used to be on the soapbox over there giving out their speeches. I seen people giving speeches there when it was still storefronts there. Like before they even cleared that land off to put the state building there. Because the state building is from the early 70s. So this is like the 60s. Right, you already seeing people there. The same place where you see Malcolm X, where they put in the movie. You know what I'm saying? He's right there by the state office building.
Right.
So that.
So today though, right? Mm-hmm. What the youth don't get that type of energy, right? The only energy they getting is either on the internet or that other culture that you was talking about. That culture is the religion. The gang culture right now is the religion of this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
So what other energy they're not getting? They don't see people out there just building. They don't see somebody ain't just gonna pull them to the side and give them some whole information about African history and this, that, and the third. They not seeing none of that.
Mm. I
So,
mean, well, you know, not for nothing, right? There's a couple of characteristics, right, of the people that, you know, at the end of the prison population, right? See, a lot of them is people that think outside the box. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, you know, they don't need to be thinking outside the box. There's a lot of, but I'm just saying they're clearly people that's not conforming. You know what I'm saying? Like if the government is saying do things this way, they looking for another way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, you put a person that has that type of mindset in an environment where it's all this crime going on and people getting rich off of crime, they're going to be attracted to that crime. You know what I'm saying? But if you just put them in a regular situation, then they just a person that don't take things on face value. You understand what I'm saying?
right.
And those people is kind of going from society. You know what I'm saying? Like the dudes who was supposed to catch everything coming down the pipe. You know what I'm saying? Like the dudes who was supposed to say, yo, son, don't take that crack shit, yo. Like, nah, I remember we started fucking with that dope shit like that, and that shit turned out. Get that shit out of here.
Right.
You know what I mean? We hit. Those brothers was already locked up by the time 1980 came. See what I'm saying? Those was the first motherfuckers to get hit with the Rockefeller laws. You know what I'm saying? Then the next generation got locked up off of crap. You know what I'm saying? Now the next generation is getting locked up off of gangs. You understand what I'm saying? And so now there's, you know, that's like what, 50 years of motherfucking guidance. 50 years of motherfuckers that's supposed to be there to catch this bullshit coming down the pipe. You understand what I'm saying? And
So they wasn't there.
You know, see Big Mama, right? The figurative Big Mama, right, is got a kind of dual, it's a dual thing out there.
Big Mama gotta get love too.
But see, what happened to the image of it, I think, right, is that on the one hand, you know, this is the sweet woman and the historic, and she passed on all this empathic shit and all that, right? But on the other hand, she was dumb because she stayed in a relationship, you know what I'm saying, and never had a job and made sure that granddaddy's dinner was on the table. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
So now you also have, you know what I'm saying, 40 or 50 years of that part not being there. You understand what I'm saying? The women that would have seen all that shit coming down the pipe and told you, no, stay away from those niggas. You're not allowed to be around those niggas. It's not, you understand what I'm saying?
Most definite. Yeah, we missing that aspect. Now grandma in the club. So, and she might be hollering at your man.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's crazy that you bring that up, though. Another part that you brought up that was crazy is that these brothers, a lot of the brothers, the elder brothers from that generation you talk about, most of them would tell me, yeah, I used to be 5%. Right? Mm-hmm. They'd be like, yo, I used to be a 5%er. Then I had brothers tell me I was a 5%er, I was a Decepticon, and now I'm blood. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yo, That's what these dudes, they are only fill-in dudes. 85 dudes that just follow whatever movement is moving, and they're gonna be a part of it. So I noticed that. But then the other dynamic was the younger dudes, their name, like I was in the dorm with, on one side, the kid was Blood. And then on the other side of me, the kid was Crip. Now the Crip kid's birth name was Infinite. His father was in the nation, right? So and I came across that mad times. There was a lot of them that had righteous names from birth, but now they was banging.
You know, that is one of the tragedies of the nation. You know, is that you know, when it comes to these gangs, the children of the 5%, you know, especially in certain areas, the children of the 5% populate those gangs. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's listen, you know, I started seeing it in the early, I would say the mid-90s. I can't recall exactly what it was, you know what I'm saying? But I was in court waiting for somebody to come up to the judge, right? And it was like, yo, the names that was coming up, you know, Wise Johnson, Justice Williams, you know, names that, you know, it's some names, like a person could be named something like Jamar, right? And it's like, well, you know, that could be a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? You could have a reason like that for a multitude of reasons. Right. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when somebody's there, you know, and they name it scientific, you know what I'm saying? You know, and look, I've seen these people throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? Even with my kids, I see the motherfucking list. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you got this kid named Wise in your class. You know what I'm saying? I know, you know, my daughter made me bust out laughing, man. It was one of the funniest things I ever heard, yo.
What she
was in maybe the second grade or something, right? So it's a kid. I see his name on the list. His name is Wise, right? So I was like, yo, you know Wise? She's like, yeah, I don't really talk to him now, but yeah, I know Wise. So I was like, I'm saying, you think he a 5%? You asked me if he was 5%? She said, nah, he not a 5%. Because I heard him talking about the devil like he lived under the ground. So he's a 45 or whatever you call it. She said,
yo, she said 45.
She said he's a 45 or whatever you call it. You know what I'm saying? So you know, yeah, I've been dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing how, you know, just there's been a dereliction of duty. You know, they outnumber us. You know what I'm saying? You know, we was putting in work, G. You know what I'm saying? In terms of making babies, man, we was putting in work. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I got 5 kids. I'm barely swinging with the big boys. Barely. They let me in the club. But I can't come in the VIP section or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So where's all these people at?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up with brothers, you know, 7, 8, 9, 13 kids. So for every one of us, there's supposed to be, you know, let's say, look, I'll write your history for you again, like how I was saying it again. I'll write your history. I give you two of my kids. Now you know you're getting the knucklehead one, so don't even say nothing. But I like let's say if I loan you something, look, we should all have at least three, son. we should all. I'm saying for every 5% you know, right? There's probably like 3 babies that's out there. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
That's a whole nation, right? That dereliction of duty has lost.
But do you think that they somewhere in the recesses, they retain that information and they may come back?
Some of them have started coming back. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a couple of brothers, you know what I'm saying? One brother, he came back here. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever had happened with his parents, he ended up growing up Jehovah's Witness. You know what I'm saying? But you know, just he always had a relationship with his pops or whatever, so he was telling certain things. So when the time came, right, he knew where to find us. You see what I mean? But now here's another thing, right? If your pops was just a lip professor, was you really born in the nation?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like so many people, you can tell them they was born in the nation, but they pops was never like that. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of brothers that, you know, they had big, but you was never on point. So of course your kid never got exposed to anything about the 5% other than that name.
You wasn't living it out. Full circle.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that happens where, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people, you know, they got those names, you know what I'm saying? You know, is the women are here like that now. That they here, the brother who brought them here, who gave them the knowledge, he fell victim.
And now they just here.
And now they just here. Talking about the guys are scared of them.
That's interesting. What keeps them coming back?
They like the camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? In the other you know, aspects of it, the dietary law, you know what I'm saying? The fact that, you know, we about children or whatever. So, you know, if they got children, you know, it's the atmosphere with other women with children, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, especially, you know, with females, you know, it's going to be difficult for them to run into other females that's about consciousness. You know what I'm saying? That's not the average female conversation. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, this is a place where you can do that. You know what I'm saying? You know, the dietary law, all of those types of things, but just saying that, you know, not necessarily the science. You see what I mean? And so that's a group of women that you would hear God is coming out of them a lot. You see what I mean? Because they never actually had the science. You know what I mean? If this was here, and that's kind of their experience with the knowledge, is them being exalted as a queen. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a difference between how you might be approached by 85% and how you might be approached by 5%. You know what I mean? So then when she hear this other title, goddess or whatever, she's like, oh yeah. Because she not, like you said, she not grounded really in the science. So when you go out there, it's easy for you to fly away into any other world and shit.
Right. So I see for us, right? Yeah, we spoke about a lot of different things, but like I see right now, like for us going into the future, Like, we really have to be targeted. Like, all of these things that we talk about, like today, especially, we got to be targeted. Like, knowing the history and knowing our science, like, we got to target these different areas where shit went awry, for lack of a better term. Like, for instance, John Henry Clark, he wrote that book, Who Destroyed the Black World Revolution. I think it's a collection of essays. One of the things he said that he looked at the revolution, the Black World Revolution, on three different hemispheres, basically, like from the Americas, the Caribbean, and the African continent. And he said in America, one of the main things that was a problem was too much infighting. If I remember correctly, he said it was a lot of infighting, like with these, they had these conferences and people with egos and all. Same thing that's happening today. A lot of infighting, like we was talking about with ABOs and ABOS and Pan-African, all these different people. There's a lot of infighting. Then he said in the Caribbean, he said they were a lion abroad, but a sheep at home. Right? So I guess he was talking about like Marcus Garvey, being a lion abroad, but when he came home, his following wasn't that big. Right? And then when he spoke about the African continent, he spoke about the neo-colonialism aspect, where, they took on these governments and these land boundaries. Like, all of these African countries are not even, traditional boundaries, where you got groups of people that don't even, relate to each other. You got different ethnic groups and all of that don't even relate to each other, but they're now called Nigeria, right? And, with them running governments after the Western outlook of how to run a government, that neo-colonialism aspect is something that keeps the African continent down. But I just bring all this up to say what? That when we look back and we look at all of this history and all of the people that have outlined these things, in order for us to move forward as a people and as a nation, we're going to have to have targeted interventions in these areas where we have failed.
Yeah, I mean, the issue now is everybody's kind of eating, off their bullshit. So how do you get people to see, right, that this ship is really sinking? You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, the one common, I don't want to say common, it's let's say it's not uncommon, right, for people to go from, let's say the music / gang, the gang music world, right, to jail. You know what I'm saying? And not one of them, until that cell door closed, most of them feel like they balling. You know what I'm saying? So how do you tell them, you know what I mean? Because look, even right now, right? If you tried to tell a kid that, look, it ain't really that type of future in, this gang stuff and all that, they're going to start naming to you all the rappers that's successful that's in a gang. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the things that I seen just in the whole greater society, not just with us, but that people start getting rewarded, right, for foolish shit. From, reality TV to getting arrested, you start being rewarded for this stuff. We on YouTube right now, but YouTube is a part of that, where, you get a whole bunch of views for doing something ridiculous quicker than you get a whole bunch of views, for, expanding on some type of knowledge. You can just
that's a super fact.
you know, you can just look at the views of, you know, video games, hair videos, makeup videos, you understand what I'm saying, against any type of knowledge video. You know what I'm saying? Not dealing with just the knowledge of self, but, you know, the knowledge of how to open a business. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to see that video have the same amount, you know, especially once you get to the gossip videos. You know what I mean? You know, who killed young Dolph? You know, I'm sure that's probably the most viewed video, you know what I'm saying, title, category, or whatever on there right now.
Facts. And they all use the same talking points.
Yeah, so that's why I always say, you know, and it's, but look, it's really gotta hit rock bottom. Like it's gotta hit rock bottom, because it's like just the whole plan, right, of the system, right, is to make you feel, you know, that you got something, right? You got enough of something in this society that you don't want to destroy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, once you get to rock bottom, now you're ready for change. You know what I'm saying? But as long as there's hope, you know, like Obama, hope and change. You know what I'm saying? As long as there's hope that this situation can get better, or that at the end of the line, there's some pearly gates for you, you know what I'm saying? People are gonna be with it.
I look at reparations like that.
Say it again.
I look at reparations like that. That's the new mystery god.
Yeah, and it's the people, they very religious about it, because see, like I said, it's still a matter of, look, no matter what, how much money you get, right? It's a matter of what you're gonna do with it. And see, that what I think is ultimately would be the problem, right? Is that, would it be possible, right? Even in legal terms, right? But, you know, would it be possible for us to make, right, a unified move? You know what I'm saying? Meaning everybody got their money, you free to do what you want to do, right? But let's say if we got 10 million, right? You know, how much would motherfuckers be willing to say, all right, look, you know, we all gonna put up, right? We got 10 million. We all gonna put 3 million into a pot. You know what I'm saying? You know, which is that's 92 a little bit of money. That's got to roll into the billions or something. You know what I mean? Maybe more, because you got 40 million people, right? And everybody's giving $3 million.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And then this money was used to do some type of infrastructure thing, whatever it would be. You understand what I mean? Look, okay, we're gonna invest this money into the HBCUs, right? But then now people have to send their children now to these SCB, what you call it?
SBCU.
The HSBCUs, right? So now we're creating a kind of education. You understand what I'm saying? Where, okay, now these is the people that they educated a certain kind of way. We can send them into the political world, right? To be politicians, to be lobbyists, to be the people that do the types of things. You understand what I mean? Like, that's the whole shit. Corporate America, right, goes to the government and tells them, listen, we need motherfuckers that can code. And so shop class is going to disappear from the schools, and computer classes is going to show up, because they educate the people to do what they want them to do. You know what I'm saying? When it was an agrarian society, nobody needed to read.
Right.
So there was education was at your house. And believe it or not, a lot of people knew how to read then. They make it seem like if it's no school, people learn how to read in their house. And they used to learn how to read off of kind of better material. You understand what I mean? They not reading Dan Can Run.
Right.
You learn how to read off the newspaper or the Bible, which the Bible is not, but I'm just saying it's a little better in terms of literature than Dan can run.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, but then when America moved into the Industrial Revolution, right? They needed people who had the knowledge to work in the factory. So now shop class starts showing up. You get cars and shit, automotive class starts showing up. You see what I'm saying? And then when we got to the information in the digital age, right? All of a sudden, you know, I remember it started out, shop was mandatory.
Yeah, I had to take shop.
Right. And computers was an elective.
And I elected to take that too.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, shop is the elective and computers is the requisite. Because that's what they want people to do. You understand what I mean? They're going to educate people to do what they want them to do. See, we don't be educating people to do what we want them to do. We send them to be educated by motherfuckers that want them to do something totally different. You see what I mean? And they get educated to be private soldiers in that army.
Right.
You see what I mean? And a lot of times when we look at it, we fuck around and be proud of it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I'd say it on here too. You know what I mean? Yeah, my daughter graduated from this school, but they ain't teach her to do nothing but go there and be a worker.
That's a fact.
So these are the things, but you know, like right now, right? Listen, imagine me walking up to a woman right now, right? Telling her, yo, these are the things right here. This is what has to happen. She's gonna say, nah, nigga, I'm balling. Me and my 10 degrees and my new car and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be doing
don't need you.
Thing. You know what I'm saying? If you want to motherfucking do that, you free to do it, motherfucker. But I'm gonna be over here in Cabo taking my pictures for Instagram.
What? That guy body shit?
Yeah, listen. Be over here with the niggas popping that crystal.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and look, the same token, imagine me coming up to a young brother. He gonna say, yo, son, listen, first of all, like you said, all that guy body shit, nigga, I'm crip, nigga. Fuck is that shit about? I don't fuck all that shit, nigga. I don't take orders from you, nigga.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? This,
you act like you want shake or something. What?
You know what I'm saying? That's what. So it has to be motherfuckers hit rock bottom, and then see now you gotta do like the movie. What's that movie? I think it was the Irishman. Where niggas say, "Yo, man, we heard you having problems with this nigga over here, man. Like, what's the deal, man? Like, we Italian mafia, nigga. We ain't supposed to have problems with niggas." Nigga said, nah, everything is okay. Nigga said, what you mean everything is okay, man? Some shit happened, man. I heard what happened, man. What the fuck you mean, man? Yo, man, you having problems with this nigga? Nigga said, you know, yeah, we have a little problem. Nigga said, all right, look, man. I can help you out, but you're gonna have to ask me.
You gonna have to ask me?
Nigga said, you're gonna have to ask me, son. Like right now, you gotta formally ask me, and yeah, I'm gonna dispatch a nigga over there to handle that business for you. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have to ask me.
Oh, because that puts you in my pocket now.
Yeah, not just that, but saying you exactly like don't see the next time we talking, right? Don't talk to me like you gangster, nigga. Right. And you had to ask me to come and help you.
Facts.
You know, Quiet's kept a little bit of trivia, but you know, we covered trivia on the show. That part of the movie, right, that I was watching, it was in real life, the dude that they sent to help the other dudes, right? He was the rat that caused the commission case.
Mm.
The nigga that they sent, he was a national nigga that they should send him all around the country to do hits. So he knew everybody. And when he ratted, that's what caused the commission case, which caused shit to go, you know, spiral with the Gambino family and brought us John Gotti.
Oh, you talk about what's the name? Damn, I don't even want to say his name anyway, man.
Well, no, not him. It was a nigga before them.
Oh, word?
Yeah. This was a nigga when that's what caused the commission case. When all of the motherfuckers went down, Tony Ducks, I think Persico might have still been with them then. Who else was in there? Not Fat Tony. When all of them went down, it was because of that story right there that was portrayed in that movie. But that's aside. That's just you know, some things be funny to me how I connect. But
well, that
say that to
brings up
say
the,
that that's how the 85 got to be with me now. Is that listen? I give you Jew on how to get out this, but you gotta ask me. You know, you gotta listen. You gotta fast 3 days, son. You got.
Let me ask you this, right? I don't think in this day and age it'll be like another movement, like, you know, like the NOI or the 5% or, you know, Garveyites or stuff like. I don't think it'll be movements like that in this day and age. What do you think?
Nah, this guy hit rock bottom because you know we in a boss era. We just the way society is, right? One of my favorite scenes in the movie The Matrix, right, was when he woke up and he was in the pod. And then he realized that, yo, he had all these motherfuckers all around him the whole time. He didn't even know they existed.
Right.
Because everybody had their own connection to this machine. You understand what I'm saying? So you felt like you independent doing whatever you're doing. And that's kind of what it is now. Everybody got their own internet connection. Everybody got their own connection to the system. You got your own degree. It's not a thing. People just don't have that mentality to come together. You know what I'm saying? And then when they do, it's too much of a desperation thing. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's coming from the religious standpoint, right? And so the motherfucker who's promising the most gold, right, is the motherfucker they end up following. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, picture me coming up to motherfuckers saying, look, this is what we need to do, right? Because that's not what they used to. See, what they used to is Umar Johnson. I'm going to build a school and then we're going to be saved. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to do this right here. You know, Crump is here. We're going to get this lawsuit. And then, you understand what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, even once a motherfucking nigga save you out the water and put you on dry land, right? It's still what you do once you get on dry land, whether him saving you really was saving you, or whether him saving you was just giving you a chance to sting someone else. So
this could happen. This could happen though. Like with this shit, if this shit hit, this variant shit, if it hit for another wave and they do another lockdown, a lot of people is gonna hit rock bottom, or they just gonna go straight anarchist. So y'all better be ready.
It's I mean, you know, see, I know black people. You know what I'm saying? So I know what happens when they backs is against the wall. You know what I'm saying? But at this point right now, I just don't think they feel like they backs is against the wall to any measure where, you know, they got to do anything or make any kind of move. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, right now in the near future, I don't see it happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm saying it's on many different levels. Like I brought it up on here before that, you know, you don't see music groups anymore. Like
It ain't worth it.
You don't see music groups.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was worth it, but if your only value is the money, you understand what I'm saying? Meaning Earth, Wind, and Fire would have never been Earth, Wind, and Fire without the whole ensemble.
That's a fact.
You understand what I'm saying? But do you want to get the bag or do you want to be a part of something great and classic? And you're still going to see some money, but like you said, it's going to be other niggas on your level. You understand what I'm saying? See, like, look, there's a lot of dudes. Like, remember the dude Mario? He was a singer, R&B.
The young kid.
Mario was the type of nigga I always thought he should have been. If you would have been a backup singer for Chris Brown, you'd have had a great career.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't not saying that he's less than Chris Brown, but I'm just saying playing that part of him and Chris Brown was a part of a group where, you know, Chris was more of the lead and he was there too. You know what I mean? Of course, he's gonna have some songs where he lead the song or whatever. You know what I mean? But people just don't think like that. Like that was the main, I'm talking about even from the streets, you know what I'm saying? Back in the days, everybody was a group. Like even dudes that rhyme by themselves, they had a regular beatbox nigga that they used to be with. You know what I'm saying? Right. Whenever they rhyme, the nigga in the beatbox nigga, they have routines. You understand what I'm saying? You know, when, you know, in the era before us, right? Everybody, the dudes that was on the street, they was singing like the doo-wop groups. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot do doo-wop music with one person.
No, it's
five part
harmony. 5-part harmony.
You see what I'm saying? So these types of things, I'm just saying that's just the way the mind works out there now, as opposed to how it used to be and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of those reasons that people had for banding together at one time is gone now. See, like once the beef with the Latin Kings was over, the Bloods started fighting the Bloods.
That's a fact.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's just kind of the same thing. Those reasons that we band together, you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, you know, in the West Coast or really everywhere, you know, brothers is banding together at first, right? Because the white immigrant gangs that was there before them is coming at them. But now once you get white flight and all these niggas is out the hood, those gangs turn on each other.
That dynamic.
Yeah.
See, so how could we flip it? How we flip it though?
Can't flip it, guys. Gotta go rock bottom. So what fuck you can't say? Guys, their negativity is stronger than our positivity right now. All we can do is let it die down. So. That's it right now.
But you heard what Jay-Z said. Eventually, the pendulum swings. Right? That's the law of what? Polarity.
See, people that is successful within the system always feel like it's a method to the madness. You know what I'm saying? Just like, look, in the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? People come in the knowledge, I don't understand, why you got quote the lesson. See, to me, it's perfectly understandable. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm successful in the system. But to the people that's not successful in the system, they're like, yeah, it don't make no sense though, but why you got quote degrees? Yeah, but why did y'all know they mathematics? For the people that's not successful in the system, you fucking with them.
Right.
He got a lot of shit that he say like that, and that's the way I take all of them. Is that, you know, yeah, well, of course you're gonna, you know, you're gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing I will say this though. One thing, right, is that see, we got to show and prove though. You see what I'm saying? Because see, the reason why Jay-Z is say some of this shit have impact, right, is because he got something to show for what he's saying. whether it's bullshit or not, right now, he can produce something for what he's saying his mindset is. Whether he's lying about what his mindset is or not, right? To the world, he can produce, right? He can manifest something from that mindset. See what I mean? And so until we show people that, that's why I'm saying, what do we look like? You know what I'm saying? Going out to tell people now. So nah, I just, like I said, all I can do is stay on point for myself, and when the time comes, they're gonna have to ask me.
Gonna have to ask.
Yeah, they have to ask me, like, yo, guy, how you manage to do that? How you walk through this shit without getting caught up in the shit that we got caught up in? All right, now but if you think I'm gonna just come over to where you at and knock on your door and volunteer information like Jehovah's Witness, I ain't doing that.
That's what they said, because they refuse to learn because they won't let the 5% teach them. Right. What brings rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes? I feel you right exactly on that though. Definitely gonna have to ask for it. Because if you don't, if I give it to you freely, you're not gonna respect it.
And not just that, but you just right now, right? There's no reason for people to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the how they say, you like whistling through the graveyard or whatever, however that saying go, there's no incentive, shall we say.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. Last year, I thought we was making some ground, right? And I was out there, I was active and a lot of stuff that was going on. But then I started to look around, and I looked around and I realized that the people who I wanted to win wasn't around me.
Mm.
And that's when I said, yo, this ain't right and exact. And I had to get up out of that.
You know something? That's another thing that I think is happening, you know what I mean? That we haven't kind of acclimated to and shit, right? Is that it is kind of, well, there's many factions of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, how would you put it? There's a civilian factor, you know what I'm saying? And there's a government factor of the 10%. You understand what I mean? And so let's say the government factor of the 10%, right, is what caused the protests. You know what I'm saying? The oppression from them, right? And the way they deal with us, you know what I'm saying, law enforcement, et cetera, right? That sparked everything off, right? But then the protests, you know what I mean, just judging by all of the things that happened since then, and there wasn't no protest, it shows that it was some other 10% behind it, the protest, I'm saying.
That's
you see
a
what
fact.
I mean? So
that's a fact.
You got two groups kind of indoctrinating you and, controlling your mind from different aspects. You know what I mean? It's almost like how they, you got, the government, and then you got what they call NGOs, non-government organizations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like the Red Cross.
Yeah, yes, I mean, but now that you got individuals, like I was watching some shit today, and it said that Elon Musk, his personal worth is more than the GDP of Greece. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is the power of these individuals. If you got that kind, you got the money that a government pulls in. A country pulls in. A whole nation, you got the money that a whole nation pulls in. So what kind of power does that give you as a de facto NGO? Because you can come in and make decisions and make things move on that kind of scale. You understand what I'm saying? Like, me and you, we could, like, I could do something right here on this corner, right? But I can't do nothing. I ain't gonna say I can't, but you know, right now, I'm not gonna do something, and then the brothers on the streets in Cali is gonna be like, yeah, son, ever since Christ did that shit at school, shit has been smooth out here. You
I
understand
agree
what I'm
with that.
saying? But
I
the
agree with that.
more, say it again?
I said I agree with that for the
Yeah.
simple fact that, what's the name? Just like 50, 60 years ago, they had the space race between countries. Now they got Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos going into space on their own.
Exactly, that's right. Right. That used to be something that the whole government had to come together to put that in. Now you got in the other nigga from England, Richard Branson. Right. So, you know, and so you got all these people, you know what I mean, and their impact on the media, you know what I'm saying? Like when you got one dude, you got three dudes that control the attention, that control like 80% of the attention. Like between Zuckerberg, Sergey Brin, and what's the other nigga from Google? Between those three, the other dude from Google is Sergey Brin and the other dude.
Forgot that dude.
It's not important. My point is that those three people, right? This is Facebook and YouTube, right? Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube. How much other shit is on the fucking internet that people do all the time?
Not much.
They're commanding most of the attention on the internet in life because people are spending how much time on the internet?
Facts. That's a lot of power, God.
You see what I'm saying? So that's like a whole other factor, right? I guess you could kind of say the trader has morphed into that. You understand what I'm saying? From being somebody who's coming with some trinkets and shit to these motherfuckers.
Wow. Wow.
But yo, I got some motherfucking clothes I left over here in the laundry mat. So I'm gonna have to make a hasty, we're gonna have to make a hasty ending to the show today. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that came in. Make sure you do the each one teach one, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. The sale is, I think y'all got about, I think an hour and a half. The 25-hour sale is some people already picked up. Is Fly Phrase still in the room? Fly Phrase, are you the person that sent me some artwork, you do graffiti? Somebody sent me some artwork that they do graffiti. I have a particular design that I don't have time. It's one of the things, if I do it, I'm gonna have to draw it for 2 weeks to get it right.
Well, peace to the gods and the earths and all the human families of the universe. I'm out. Peace.
No doubt. Peace. That's Fly Phrase. All right. I'm gonna send you. He do. All right. I thought it was him. I'm gonna send you the picture on Instagram. So if you want, heads up. If not, I'll talk to you in a minute. Nah, I think you sent me some artwork, Fly Phrase. You like I think you sent it to me in a direct message one time. But at any rate, yeah, listen, the idea, the creativity of it is crazy, G. I'm telling you, when you see it, but it's one of them things where it takes an artiste, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody, you know what I'm saying? The people be in the background, different people that we talked about today, you know what I'm saying? Share this on all your other pages for me, you know what I'm saying? In the meantime, in between time, we're going to sign off from the G building and say peace.